channel, Marilyn Raffaelli. Welcome to our message, dear readers. You are all well aware that much on Earth is no longer flowing harmoniously as it previously did, personally and globally. Countries and individuals struggle to maintain rules, regulations, ideas, and beliefs that have always been the accepted in attempts to return things to normal. Present times have become confusing and often frightening even for those who are spiritually awake, simply because so much is changing and often seemingly not for the better. Those unaware of Earth's ascension process are trying to restore what used to be because the old ways seemed to work just fine, but that was because they were in alignment with the collective. However, because many of these things were born of error and false belief, things cannot return to what they once were because consciousness is evolving and collective consciousness is changing. Let go, dear ones. Let go of exhausting attempts to keep everything as you have always known it. Family traditions, rules, practices, even the food you think you must eat. The struggle to keep things as they have always been is a manifestation of separation from your good. It is the fear that if you deviate from traditions and practices that have always worked well for you, something bad may happen. It is tempting to try and fix things that no longer seem to be working in your life because you are living in, experiencing, and are accustomed to the workings and solutions of a three-dimensional world. Remind yourselves that the material world you are experiencing on Earth is an illusory concept created from energies that are now dissolving as individuals awaken. Earth is ascending into frequencies that more closely resemble her true divine nature in spite of appearances and efforts by those who seek to maintain the status quo. A major source of all discord is the collective consciousness of two powers. Mankind, through an ignorance of truth, has given power to just about everything, to foods, climate, vitamins, employment, animals, money, relationships, people, etc. Know this: there is only one power, God or divine consciousness, which is not a power over anything but is simply the only power that exists because it is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient. The truth of one has been revealed by many spiritual masters. Buddha, Jesus, and others attempted to tell followers that God was all that existed and was therefore their own real nature, but the majority interpreted the idea of I am as being personal to the teacher, and rather than accepting it as the truth of their own oneness, began to and still today worship the messenger rather than the message. You are ready to leave this idolatry behind. No man, teacher, preacher, priest, saint, or holy person is more God than another, including those considered to be criminals or bad people. The third-dimensional belief system has given power to and attributed much of the bad that happens on Earth as being in and of Satan, evil, or the devil. Know this: there is no devil or Satan unless you believe there is, and then, being a creator, create one for yourself and maintain it through fear or love. Where could a devil possibly come from if God is omnipresent, all that is? Many beliefs regarding Satan come from past lives where these beliefs were taught and perpetuated as general knowledge. Many still carry this energy in their energy field, where it lies dormant but alive and well, ready to activate when a person watches certain movies, reads certain books or articles, talks to other believers, or attends a church that teaches that the devil is real and must be resisted. Consciously state your intention to clear once and for all any remaining energies based in the belief of an entity outside of yourself who can harm, destroy, kill, or affect you. There are some who believe so strongly in the power of evil and Satan that they create ceremonies of worship in the belief that their connection to the devil will give them power and allow them to experience whatever they desire, like revenge or material things. What these ceremonies actually do is attract low-resonating unevolved entities from the other side who are more than happy to participate in anything that will feed them energy, and because even devil worshippers are also creative, things happen that they attribute it to the devil. There is no unexpressed consciousness. The three-dimensional belief system endows bad appearances, disease, drugs, alcoholism, etc., and good appearances, money, fame, relationships, material things, with power in the belief that these things can control or affect their lives. Endowing anything other than God with power simply feeds it energy. Every war declared on some disease or issue serves to grow it rather than eliminate it. Nothing is power over you unless you endow it with power. You are the boss of you. God, your real selfhood, is the only power, law, reality, and cause and effect governing you. There is only one power, one omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient reality, and the belief in two powers has resulted mankind's sense of separation from God and others while manifesting as duality, good and evil, sick and well, rich and poor. All must at some point in their evolutionary journey cease giving power to anything outside of self or self in the realization that everything is an expression of God life, God intelligence, God wholeness, and completeness, the fullness of divine consciousness being misinterpreted through minds conditioned with beliefs of duality, separation, and two powers. Every person is free to fill their God-individualized consciousness with whatever beliefs they choose, but should not then blame others for the manifestations. We are not telling you to go out in a hurricane, walk down dark and dangerous alleys, or eat all the junk and processed food you want and nothing will happen to your bodies while declaring to the world that God is all. The consciousness of one power must be known, acknowledged, accepted, and then practiced until it becomes your state of consciousness. Jesus stilled the storm. How? His consciousness held no beliefs of power outside of God, and thus he knew that the storm had no power of its own. Practice these principles with everything you do and gradually they will become your state of consciousness. This is how it works with all truth. Do what you feel you need to do with regard to your health and home, but do it in awareness of truth, that in reality nothing is power over you for good or bad. There really are no victims, only those still asleep to the truth of their divine nature. Know that the fullness and completeness of divine consciousness has never left nor could ever leave anyone, for it is who you are. The human condition is like a person living in poverty, totally unaware that they have a bank account full of money. Help self and others as you are guided. Help is available at all levels of awareness, but always act with awareness of the innate divine nature of yourself and others, whatever the circumstances. In spite of any and all appearances, know that God alone is.